For all episodes and more information, please visit us at marriedmillions.com.
Leslie Santiago, and Hector and I own Pura Vida restaurant. We're here in Atlanta, and as far as background, I've been in the restaurant industry since I was 16, so I won't tell you how many years that is, but it's a long time. It's basically what I've always done. That's what I love doing, and I was lucky to find somebody that shared the same passion. I always say I fell in love with his food before I fell in love with him, so it worked out great.
Hector Santiago and Hector Santiago, and I have been in this industry also since I was like 18 or so, and I was back in Puerto Rico going to school and college, and I started working as a second job, and kind of fell in love with what I was doing, and always loved cooking. And once I graduated and whatnot and started working, I was really, very career oriented, and that's what I kept on doing and doing. And then we met working together. We met at the restaurant Stony Hill. I was working as a line cook with one of my old chefs from actually from school, and Leslie had been working in there for maybe 3-4 years before me. And we kind of came across each other at the restaurant, but with me working in one half of the restaurant, even there is one restaurant, you won't even see the other person that work in the other kitchen, let's say, all day long. You just concentrate in your space. And so we worked together for a while, but we didn't really click anything. And when we started working together, as me as a banquet chef and she was a banquet manager, that's when we started, pay attention to each other, and from there it went on.
We met working in a restaurant. It's a place called the Stony Hill Inn, and I was the banquet manager. And Hector eventually started there and became the banquet chef. And when we worked that closely together, that's kind of when things gelled and our relationship started.
Yes, we used to work together, and we went different ways when we came to Atlanta. She was working, we were working for the same company, but in 2 different restaurants. And that was 5 years of both working very hard in our careers, but not really like focusing in the middle, into our career as owners in the future, and instead of pulling for 2 restaurants, actually to pull for 1 restaurant, 1 business. And eventually, we always had the dream of opening our own restaurant, and that happened. And we didn't start the business both working in here at the same time, but she had to keep her job. And at one point, it was like a phone call, like, I need you here now. I wanted to focus on this, and that was 5 years ago, and we have been both just focusing in one main goal, and to put Pura Vida and our restaurant to be hopefully our future.
We have very different roles in the restaurant. Hector is the chef, so he runs the kitchen. I run the front of the house. I'm out there dealing with the customers. He's in the back, being the creative one and making all the food. we have very separate roles.
Yeah, we basically don't see each other too much at the restaurant. You know, we do work 12 to 14 hours, 8 a day, but you know, we together, working together about maybe 3 of the whole day. So
That's probably a lot, actually.
yeah. It keeps it good because you know you're in here together, you're at home together, and you know you want to keep things away from each other. You know, as much as possible. Our work is very, I want to say intense. You know, in my side and her side. So there's always that concern of bringing work home that we always do no matter what.
Our days are both very different. I come in, I handle the banking, I check messages, get back to customers, deal with vendors, liquor orders, salespeople, staffing, scheduling, and he comes in and cooks. Does prep well, and a lot more. But he's also.
If it was just good, it would be easy. You know, especially when you own your own restaurant, it's very different to when I used to work, let's say, for a corporate restaurant. It was a lot easier. I could just go and cook, literally, and you know, take care of some paperwork here and there, but maybe an hour of the day total took you know, administrative kind of paperwork, ordering and whatnot. But most of it was cooking. But in here, you know, being my own restaurant is like I always said, you know, when we're busy, we're busy. I am busy, and when we're slow, I'm even busier, because that's when you know you have to let people go early home and that kind of stuff, and you become the dishwasher sometimes, and you know in the morning when you're doing prep, sometimes you're doing a lot of that prep instead of doing what you usually do. Plus, you have to do that too. So I mean, it's a lot on the plate, but that's why we kind of stay away from each other way, sort of thing, because I'm in the kitchen dealing with all these things, and you know, maybe in the basement fixing something that broke, plumbing, electricity, anything, you know, because when it's your own restaurant, you're a small business, you're not calling plumbers and electricians every single second something happens, you know, at $100 at a time that they come in. So you're doing all this stuff you can yourself, and that's how my day is spent usually. I come in
and that's all before we open for business.
I come in, take care of stuff, and I mean, yesterday I was doing changing parts on a bathroom, and then later on placing orders, and later on butchering a whole pig. So that happens all in one day. Plus putting out the food with my guys when we are open.